Louisiana Beer Reviews looks at Founders All Day IPA. Oh yeah, another session IPA. Well, coming from the Office of Redundancy office, let's look at it. The video before this, I had the Terrapin Recreation Ale, which was a session APA, and a lot of people have said they don't see a difference between session IPAs and APAs, and I tend to agree with that. That one was 4.7% alcohol. This one is 4.7% alcohol. Although this is brewed in Michigan, and that one was brewed in Georgia. And this is in a bottle. That one was in a can. Okay, 42 international bitterness units introduced apparently in 2010. It won a silver medal at the Great American Beer Festival. Okay, very good on Beer Advocate. 96 out of 100 on Rate Beer. 97 out of 100 for the style. Wow, this better be darn good with those scores, and a most excellent score on the Beer and Me. Before I get started, I'll show you some artifacts. I really don't have any more artifacts, but I have a bunch of old books. Here is a really interesting book, The Story of the Great War. And I bought this very cheap. You know, it was like $1. The thing I like about this book is that it's from 1916. Here's Rear Admiral Austin Knight of the U.S. Navy. They have a lot of pictures, and that's a colorized picture. They didn't have color photos really back then, but it's a lot of photographs of naval and airplane, naval vessels and airplanes all throughout the book, black and white, of course, like the French torpedo boat destroyer here. But the fascinating thing about this book, it has all the state papers released. I guess the governments of Germany, Austria, Russia, Italy, whatever, released these to prove that they were right, you know, because all throughout the Great War of 1914 to 1918, everybody was trying to say, we were right, it wasn't our fault, when it was probably really everybody's fault. But anyway, this book was printed in New York, and the most important thing, it says to start off, Chapter 1. Overshadowing all other issues which brought the European nations into conflict loomed the fundamental differences between Great Britain and Germany. And then go on about all the expert opinion. And that was then. This is now. A lot of the people really that study World War I, which we're kind of like continued, we're kind of like still in World War I really today, like it never really stopped. But the main thing that caused that war really was this ongoing, decades-long conflict between Great Britain and Germany. We don't want to get into all that, this is a beer review. But the fascinating thing is these state papers, where it's got letters that were written between the Russian Tsar and the German Emperor, and it's just, you can learn so much about reading the actual transcripts. The Tsar answered, thanks for your telegram, which is conciliatory and friendly, whereas the official message presented today by your ambassador to my minister was conveyed in a very different tone. I beg you to explain this divergency. And then he goes on, and that's between him and the Kaiser, his first cousin. So it's just a fascinating book. Back to beer. Bottled on March 24th, 2014. Okay, this is not even a month old. 42 IBUs. Let's check it out. I've never had a Founders beer before. It's $1.69 minus the discount. I get a discount at Stein's if I buy a bunch of beer. So it's probably more like $1.50 plus tax. Founders just showed up in our area, and people were asking me that last year. Why don't you try some Founders? I can send you some. And I always discourage that. I say, don't do it, because you'll send me a beer, spend a lot of money, take a lot of your time, and it'll show up. and then it'd just be a waste. We're in New Orleans area. It's a huge port, and lots of stuff is moving through here all the time. Thick, spongy head, maybe a little bit white. It's a little hazy, and there is sediment, but it's not as like, the sediment is so fine. On the recreation ale, it was thicker, browner, more brown sediment. It's a gold appearance, yeah, burnished gold from the with the sun. You know, you're looking at an orange gold, but with the sun shining at me, it's a gold, burnished gold. The aroma, hop resin, pineapple, some mild white bread. Not as piney as the recreation ale, but still in that same vein. It's like you've seen this video a million times. You say, why are you bringing up the books? Hey, that's better than talking about the same old thing, huh? Yes, I agree. I agree with you. Session IPAs have jumped the shark. Beer has jumped the shark. This one is a lot better though than the recreation ale because it's got a lot more character. There's even almost like some olive oil aspect to it. I know that's not correct, but it has that. This is actually lighter bodied than the recreation APA. This is an IPA, but it's lighter bodied, more watery. The finish might be a little bit lighter, a little drier. Drinkability is the same, and yeah, it's sessionable. I don't know. I really am conflicted about these beers. Don't dislike them. Like them. I'm in favor of them. So I wouldn't want people to take that the wrong way. But it's not that great. I don't know where this 96 out of 100 is coming from. I mean, they'll say this is 96 out of 100, and then they'll say an American style lager is a 0 out of 100. That's insane. It's like it makes no sense. I would give this yeah, A minus. It's excellent to an extent. It's not that great. If you want to pay $1.50 a bottle for something that's sort of in a ho-hum style, and people say, well, you drink natural ice. I know, I like it. But anyway, here's a beer that's $7.99 a 12-pack. $7.99 a 12-pack. I drank one last night. This can go toe-to-toe with that, and you could make the argument that this one is as good, if not better, than that one. Now people say you cannot say that. You cannot say that this is better than this. Well, you could say it because I gave this a B+, I think, and I'm giving this an A-, but I rate within the style, okay? But I'll tell you what, the more I'm drinking these, the score's going up. If I did a revisit, I think this would go into the A- range. Well, I can pretty much say whatever I want to say. It's my opinion, right? Some people have this idea that you can't have certain opinions. Like, you can't think that way. Yeah, you can. And in fact, you can drink whatever you want to drink. So I know you're saying to yourself, he's really worked up. I am in a way worked up because I'm always thinking about beers, you know, and beer styles, and I have to say one of the beer styles that has disturbed me more than any other has been this Session IPA because, well, there's a lot of reasons. I don't want to get into it. I mean, it's okay. It's not bad. I'm not saying there's nothing bad about any of this, but, you know, it's whatever you want to drink. I don't want to keep going on anyway. Laissez Le Bon Temps Roulé. It's an excellent beer if you want to say that. And okay, I'll say it. Excellent to an extent. And I'm going to end this review by saying y'all come on down to slowly, more slowly than we had hoped, slowly warming New Orleans. Well, southeastern Louisiana, Laplace.